Right. So today we're gonna look at some of those customer service calls
Oh,
that
yeah.
we all dread.
Yeah, the ones that just make you want to
Pull your hair out.
yeah, just throw your phone at the wall.
Exactly. But today with you here,
Yes.
we're gonna
No.
break these calls down,
Mm,
and hopefully we can all learn
absolutely.
some strategies for staying calm
Yeah,
and actually getting what we need.
love it.
So the video we're looking at today is called
Okay.
Mastering Customer Service, Role Play Training for Call Center Agents.
Ooh, interesting.
And this is really,
So they're training.
yeah, it's a training video for the agents
Oh, cool.
to learn how to deal with these kind of situations.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
And the first scenario they show
Okay.
is called the late delivery.
All right.
And oh boy, this customer
Yeah.
sounds like they are about 2 seconds away
Yeah,
from like a complete meltdown.
I can only imagine.
So here's how it starts. Finally took you long enough to answer. I ordered a package and it's not here yet. What the hell's the problem with you people?
Oh my goodness gracious.
I know, right? I would be so tempted to just like
Oh, yeah.
hang up the phone.
To just be like, yeah, I can't deal with this right now.
Exactly. But the agent here,
Okay.
they do something really interesting.
What do they do?
They respond with, I'm very sorry to hear about the delay with your package.
Yeah.
I'll do my best to help. May I have your order number, please?
So they're just completely calm.
Yeah, it's like they're speaking in slow motion.
Right. And
It's
that's
amazing.
that's so smart because when you think about it,
Yeah.
if you're mirroring that energy, right? Like if you're getting just as amped up as the customer is,
Right.
it's only going to make things worse.
Yeah, it's like gasoline on a fire.
Exactly. And there's actually this psychological principle called emotional contagion, where we unconsciously pick up on other people's moods.
Oh, that's interesting.
So by staying calm, the agent's actually helping the customer regulate their own emotions. So it's like a de-escalation technique right off the bat.
That's so smart.
Right. And it also gives the agent a chance to actually think clearly and problem solve.
Right.
Because if you're all riled up, you can't think straight.
Makes sense.
We're not going to be helpful.
So instead of a shouting match, you create space to actually work things out.
Exactly.
But of course, the customer doesn't exactly let up.
Oh.
They go on to say, this is totally unacceptable. I needed it yesterday. Your company is the worst.
Ugh, classic blame shifting.
Right. Like, it's the agent's fault,
Right.
personally.
It's like when people feel powerless, they often lash out at whoever's in front of them.
Yeah.
Even if that person isn't actually at fault.
Right.
It's their way of trying to regain some control.
Okay. So how does the agent handle that?
Well, they don't take the bait. They say, I completely understand your frustration and I apologize for the inconvenience. I'll contact our shipping department right away to ensure they prioritize your delivery. Additionally, I'll provide you with regular updates via email.
Okay. So they're acknowledging the customer's feelings,
Yeah.
even though the complaint's kind of ridiculous,
Right.
but they're not dwelling on the negativity.
Exactly.
It's like straight to problem-solving mode.
Yeah,
Is that intentional?
absolutely. That's active listening in action.
Okay. So what does that mean exactly?
It's not just about hearing the words,
Yeah.
but actually demonstrating that you understand the emotions behind them.
Okay.
So when a customer feels heard, even if you can't fix everything instantly,
Yeah.
they're much more likely to cooperate.
Wow. So it's almost like active listening is a de-escalation technique in itself.
Exactly. You're disarming the situation by showing empathy.
Oh, okay.
And then
listen.
by offering those concrete solutions like contacting the shipping department and promising email updates,
Right.
the agent's subtly shifting the conversation from complaint to resolution.
Okay, so it's like you're guiding them towards a positive outcome.
Exactly. You're reframing the situation.
I like it.
But even with all that, the customer still isn't quite satisfied.
Oh.
They retort, then why do you offer expedited shipping? It makes zero sense.
Oh, so now they're challenging company policy.
Yeah.
That's got to be a tough spot for the agent.
It is.
They can't just change the rules.
Right.
What do they do?
Well, they handle it beautifully. They say, I will certainly pass that along to our management team. I appreciate your suggestion.
Okay, so they're acknowledging the feedback
Yeah,
without actually promising anything they can't deliver.
exactly.
That seems like a really crucial skill,
It is.
especially when you're dealing with policies you might not even agree with yourself.
Right. You don't want to lie to the customer, but
Yeah.
you also want to acknowledge their concern.
Yeah, does that acknowledgement actually make a difference, though?
You'd be surprised it often does.
Really?
Sometimes all a frustrated customer wants is to be heard and taken seriously.
Ah,
That validation can go a long way in diffusing their anger.
okay.
Plus, if enough people provide similar feedback, it can actually influence company decisions down the line.
So you're saying my complaints might actually change things.
They could. Interesting.
So never underestimate the power of voicing your concerns constructively.
All right. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's important.
So we've seen how the agent handled this really difficult customer.
Yeah, they did a great job.
But I'm curious, what are some things that we as customers can do
Oh, yeah, that's a great question.
to make these interactions go more smoothly?
Absolutely, because we have a role to play too.
Okay, so what are your top tips?
Well, first and foremost, remember that the person you're speaking to is a human being just like you.
Right.
They're probably not the one who personally caused the problem, so try to approach the conversation with a little bit of empathy.
That's easy to say when you're not the one fuming about a late package or a messed up bill.
I hear you.
Yeah.
It's definitely easier said than done when you're feeling frustrated, but even a small effort to be polite can go a long way.
Yeah, so maybe skip the insults and the you people language.
Mm.
Definitely remember that condescending or aggressive language will only put the other person on the defensive,
Right.
which makes it harder to resolve the issue.
So what should we do instead?
Try using I statements to express your feelings and needs.
Okay, like what?
Like you could say, I'm feeling really stressed because I need this package by tomorrow. Is there anything you can do to expedite the delivery?
Okay, so it's about framing it as a request,
Exactly.
not an attack.
Yeah, you're collaborating instead of confronting.
I like that.
And if you find yourself getting really heated, don't hesitate to ask for a moment to collect your thoughts.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You could say something like, would you mind if I put you on hold for a minute? I need a moment to calm down.
Yeah, taking a breather can definitely prevent you from saying something you might regret later.
Absolutely. And remember, sometimes it's helpful to have a plan B in mind.
Oh, like a backup plan.
Yeah, exactly. If the first solution offered isn't ideal, what are your alternatives? What's your bottom line? Thinking through these things in advance can help you stay focused and avoid getting flustered.
That's a good tip.
And one more thing,
Yeah.
before you even make that call, make sure you have all the necessary information readily available.
Oh, like your order number or your account details?
Exactly. That way you're not scrambling to find things while you're already stressed out.
That makes sense.
It just helps things go more smoothly.
All right, I'm starting to feel a little more empowered already.
That's the spirit.
Like maybe I'm not totally at the mercy of these customer service gods after all.
You're not, you have more control over these interactions than you might think.
It's all about using the right tools and strategies.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm ready to tackle my next customer service challenge.
I think you are.
I've got my deep breaths ready,
Awesome.
my I statements,
You got it.
and my backup plan.
Love it.
Okay, let's move on to the next scenario in this training video.
All right, let's see what they've got for us.
This one is called the billing error.
Ooh, the dreaded billing error.
I know everybody's favorite.
Everyone's been there.
So this customer, Miss Stapleton, she does not sound happy.
Uh-oh.
Here's how she starts the call.
Okay.
Finally, someone answers. I've been overcharged on my bill. What are you people doing?
Oh boy, she's already at a 10.
Yeah, she's not messing around.
No, she's not.
So how does the agent handle this one?
Well, just like in the previous scenario, they stay completely calm and collected.
Even though she's practically yelling at them?
Exactly. They don't let her energy affect them.
Okay, so what do they say?
They say, I'm so sorry to hear that you've been overcharged, Ms. Stapleton. I understand this is frustrating. Let's take a look at your account together. Could you please provide me with your account number?
Okay, so they're acknowledging the problem,
Yeah,
and then they're asking for information to start investigating.
exactly. They're taking control of the situation.
Instead of getting defensive.
Right.
That's smart.
It is, and it also helps to avoid making assumptions.
Oh, how so?
Well, instead of just assuming they know what the overcharge is about, they're gathering the necessary information to get the full picture.
That makes sense.
It prevents misunderstandings and ensures they're addressing the right issue.
So it's all about being thorough and accurate.
Exactly.
Okay, so they've got the account details. What happens next?
Well, the agent carefully reviews Miss Stapleton's bill and confirms the overcharge.
And what does Miss Stapleton do while this is happening?
She continues to express her frustration.
Of course.
She says things like, "This is ridiculous. I can't believe this happened. I'm so angry."
Okay, so she's still pretty fired up.
Yeah, but the agent doesn't let her negativity derail the conversation.
How do they manage that?
They keep their tone calm and neutral, and they focus on the solution.
Okay, so they're not getting sucked into the drama,
Exactly. They're staying focused on the task at hand.
which is fixing the billing error.
Precisely.
Okay, I'm impressed with this agent's composure.
They're doing a fantastic job.
It's like they've got nerves of steel.
Right. They're a customer service superhero.
All right, so they've confirmed the overcharge. What happens next?
The agent takes ownership of the problem and says, I see the discrepancy in your bill, and I apologize for any error. Let me correct that for you right away.
Okay, so they're apologizing,
Yeah,
but they're not actually accepting personal blame
exactly. They're taking responsibility for the company's mistake.
without making it about them personally.
Right. It's a subtle but important distinction.
Yeah, I can see how that would help de-escalate the situation.
It does.
And it also shows the customer that they're being taken seriously.
Absolutely.
So they're fixing the error. What else do they do?
Well, they go on to explain the steps they're taking to correct the bill.
Okay.
And they also reassure Miss Stapleton that the correction will be reflected on her next statement.
So they're setting clear expectations.
Yeah,
And they're providing a time frame for the resolution,
exactly. They're leaving no room for uncertainty.
which we know can fuel frustration.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the agent has apologized.
Yep.
They've fixed the problem, and they've set clear expectations.
They're doing everything right.
Is Miss Stapleton happy now?
Well, she's definitely less angry, but she still has some lingering frustration.
Like what?
She says things like, well, this should never have happened in the first place.
Okay, so she's still kind of grumbling.
Yeah, but the agent doesn't engage with her negativity.
How do they handle that?
They simply acknowledge her feelings and redirect the conversation back to the solution.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's about keeping things on track and avoiding getting bogged down in unnecessary back and forth.
So it's like they're gently steering the conversation towards a positive conclusion.
Exactly. They're the captain of the customer service ship,
I love that analogy.
guiding the customer to calmer waters.
All right, so we've seen two very different scenarios,
Yeah,
both involving pretty difficult customers.
absolutely.
But there are some common threads in how the agents handle these situations.
Definitely.
What are those key takeaways?
Well, first and foremost, both agents remained calm and composed throughout the interactions.
Okay, so that's like rule number one of customer service.
It is, you can't let the customer's emotions dictate your own.
Right.
You have to stay grounded.
And they both used active listening techniques.
Yes. They acknowledged the customer's feelings.
Yeah.
Even when those feelings were maybe a little over the top,
Right.
they showed empathy without getting defensive.
And they focused on solutions instead of blame.
Exactly. They didn't dwell on the problem.
They just moved towards fixing it.
Precisely.
And finally, they set clear expectations and offered follow-up.
Yeah, they didn't leave the customers hanging.
They made sure they knew what to expect.
And that they were being taken care of.
All right, so these are all great strategies for customer service agents.
Absolutely.
But can we apply these same principles to other areas of our lives?
Oh, absolutely. These skills are transferable to any situation where you're dealing with difficult people.
Like what?
Think about dealing with a difficult coworker or a demanding boss.
Okay, yeah.
Or even navigating a disagreement with a friend or family member.
So it's really about effective communication.
Exactly. These customer service skills are essentially life skills.
I like that.
They can help us build stronger relationships and navigate challenges more effectively.
All right. I'm feeling inspired.
I'm glad.
I'm ready to channel my inner customer service ninja.
You got this.
You know what I'm realizing?
What's that?
It's like these agents are using some kind of
Mm-hmm.
Jedi mind trick
Yeah.
just by staying so calm.
It's pretty powerful, right?
It's like they're disarming the customer with their chill vibes.
It's more effective than you might think.
Okay, but I think there's something else going on here too.
Oh, yeah. What do you see?
I think both these agents,
Okay.
they're really good at setting expectations.
Ooh, interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, like in that late delivery call.
Uh-huh.
Remember the agent said,
Yeah.
your package should arrive by the end of the week?
Right.
That seems simple,
Yeah.
but I think it was doing a lot of work.
I agree. Break it down for me.
Well, instead of leaving the customer hanging,
Yeah.
wondering like, when is this thing going to show up?
Right.
The agent gave them a clear time frame.
Yes.
And I think that helps reduce anxiety.
Absolutely, because uncertainty just fuels frustration.
Right. Especially when you already feel out of control.
Totally.
So by setting those expectations up front,
Uh-huh.
it's like you're giving the customer a little bit of agency back.
Exactly. Like, okay, at least I know what to expect now.
Right.
Instead of just being left in the dark.
And it's same in that billing error call.
Oh, yeah.
The agent tells Miss Stapleton,
Uh-huh.
this should only take a few minutes.
Right.
Again, it's setting a time frame.
Yeah.
Like, I got this, and it's not going to drag on forever.
Exactly. It's reassuring.
These little details,
Yeah.
they really make a difference.
They do. They really set the tone for the whole interaction.
It's like you said, it's about managing those emotional undercurrents.
Absolutely. It's like diffusing a bomb before it even explodes.
And this isn't just for customer service calls, is it?
No, not at all. This applies to all kinds of interactions.
Also, like,
Think about it. If
Yeah.
you're running late to meet your partner,
uh-huh.
you could say, hey, I'm stuck in traffic, but I should be home in about 20 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or if you're working on a project with a coworker, you
Yeah.
could say, hey, I'm still waiting on some data, but I'll have that report to you by Friday afternoon.
Right, so you're preventing those, like,
Yeah,
unnecessary check-ins and frustration.
exactly. You're setting a clear timeline from the start.
Okay, so far we've talked about active listening,
Mm-hmm.
de-escalation techniques,
Yep. Yeah.
focusing on solutions, not blame,
Right.
and now setting clear expectations.
Yes.
Anything else we should be aware of?
There's one more crucial element,
Okay, hit me with it.
offering follow-up.
Oh, right.
Like in the late delivery scenario, the agent promised to provide email updates on the package status. And in the billing error scenario, they reassured Miss Stapleton that the correction would be reflected on her next statement.
Right. It's not enough to just solve the problem in the moment.
Exactly. It's about demonstrating that ongoing commitment
Yeah.
to customer satisfaction.
So it's like going that extra mile
Uh-huh.
to show you're not just trying to get them off the phone.
Right.
You actually care.
You want to make things right.
Follow-up is like
Hmm.
the cherry on top.
It can turn a negative experience into a positive one, and it can even build loyalty.
Okay. I'm seeing this all from the agent's perspective.
Yeah.
But what about us,
Uh,
the customers?
oh, yeah, that's a great point.
What can we do differently?
Well, first and foremost, remember that the person you're speaking to is a human being just like you.
Easy to forget when you're furious.
I know, right? But they're likely not the one who personally caused the problem.
True.
So try to approach the conversation with a little bit of empathy.
Okay. Easier said than done.
I know, but even a small effort to be polite can go a long way.
So like no yelling
Preferably not.
or insults?
No name calling.
Okay, got it.
Because that kind of language just puts people on the defensive.
Right.
It makes it much harder to resolve the issue.
So what should we do instead?
Try using I statements.
Like, I'm feeling really frustrated.
Exactly. Like you could say, I'm feeling really stressed because I need this package by tomorrow. Is there anything you can do to expedite the delivery?
Okay, so you're framing it as a request,
Yeah,
not a demand.
exactly.
And what if I'm, like, really losing it?
If you feel yourself getting heated, don't hesitate to ask for a moment
Okay.
to collect your thoughts.
Like, what would I say?
You could say something like, would you mind if I put you on hold for a minute? I need a moment to calm down.
Okay, take a breather.
Exactly. Sometimes you just need a minute to reset.
And maybe, like, count to 10.
Yeah, whatever works for you.
Before I say something, I'll regret.
Absolutely.
Anything else?
It's also helpful to have a plan B in mind.
Like a backup plan.
Yeah, exactly. If the first solution offered isn't ideal,
Yeah.
What are your alternatives?
Okay.
What's your bottom line?
Think it through in advance.
Exactly. That way you're not caught off guard.
Right, and I'm not, like, scrambling to come up with something.
Yeah.
You're prepared.
Okay. This is all really helpful.
I'm glad.
I'm starting to feel a little more in control already.
That's the goal.
It's like I have the power to actually make these interactions better.
You do. It's all about using the right tools and strategies.
Okay, I'm ready for my next customer service challenge.
I think you are. You got this.
Okay, I gotta say,
Yeah.
I'm starting to see these customer service skills
Mm-hmm.
as like
Yeah,
essential life tools.
exactly. It's not just about those calls, right?
Right.
It's about any interaction where things get a little
Like tricky.
tricky. Yeah.
So we're talking about more than just refunds
Hmm.
or billing errors.
Yeah.
This stuff applies to like dealing with a difficult coworker. Absolutely.
Right.
Think about it. Active listening.
Yeah.
Empathy de-escalation.
Mm-hmm.
These work whether you're talking to customer service or your boss or your partner.
Oh, wow.
Even that chatty cashier at the grocery store.
Wait, seriously? The cashier?
Yeah, think about it.
Mm.
It's all about building better relationships,
Okay.
managing conflict effectively,
Yeah.
advocating for your needs respectfully.
It's like a secret weapon
It is.
for all those, like, awkward
Yes.
human interactions.
Exactly.
My mind is blown.
I know, right?
These simple techniques
Yeah.
are so powerful.
They are.
And you know what else?
What?
When you approach these stressful situations
Yeah.
calmly,
Mhm.
focused on solutions,
Right.
you actually reduce your own stress.
Oh, absolutely.
Sign me up for that.
Right.
So how does that work?
Well, instead of getting swept up in the frustration and the anger, you You're staying grounded and focused.
Yeah.
You're taking control of your emotional response,
Right.
which gives you more clarity to think strategically.
So we're not just becoming better communicators.
Yeah.
We're taking care of ourselves, too.
It's a win-win.
I'm telling you,
It is.
everyone should go through customer service agent training,
I agree with you.
like essential life skills.
Yeah.
All right. As we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
what's the one thing you want our listeners to remember?
Remember, you have more power than you think.
Hmm.
You can choose how to respond.
Okay.
You can advocate for your needs effectively,
Yeah.
and you can build stronger relationships through it all.
So next time you're on the phone
Yeah.
with a frustrating company,
Mm.
channel your inner
Yeah.
customer service ninja.
Exactly.
Stay calm.
Be strategic.
Focus on solutions.
You got it.
You might just turn that customer service nightmare
Huh?
into an empowering experience.
Absolutely.
All right. That's a wrap on our deep dive into surviving customer service nightmares.
Thanks for having me.
Remember, these skills
Yeah.
aren't just for companies.
No, they're not.
They're for life.
They
Until next time, stay curious
stay informed.
and stay empowered.